Alright, what's up, Wolfpack? We got the first recorded set of the day. We got chest press. Move that down just a little bit. Go. Alright. I am pretty early on in the workout today, so I think I'm going to be doing a little better on chest press. As of recently, I have really been trying to prioritize my mid-chest, which is why I'm doing my mid-chest movement before my upper chest movement. I'm hoping in some sense that it will, it'll allow me to push a little bit of a heavier weight. I'll be a little less fatigued. That's kind of the whole point of, prioritizing your weak points. So that's what we're doing. I'm going to do it for as long as I feel like my mid-chest is a little bit of a weak point. But let me get in this first working set. We got 70 pounds. Or not, did I say working set? I meant warm-up set. If I said working set. But it doesn't really matter too much. Alright, just do how many I feel like and then we'll get in the first working set. Alright, we'll go up to 115 for now. We'll see how that goes. You guys will know the drill by the time I say it. You guys probably already know it. For the people who've been watching long enough. Like I said in the chest video earlier today, which if you haven't watched, go watch. But as I said, I really don't have much planned to talk about today. Going back to the chest video, my mom really suggested that I really start explaining why I do certain things and why I do stuff like that. So I'm gonna kind of treat it a little bit like that, where I kind of just go over why, like similar to how I said, I'm doing my chest press first rather than my incline press or my pec deck, just because I want to prioritize my mid-chest. But probably a good amount of what I do today will be me just kind of going over why I do certain things. If I have talking points, I'll talk about them. But I don't know how many talking points there'll be. In terms of how my day's been, the only like real productivity stuff that I did today was with my the book reading that I was talking about however many videos ago, but still continuing to push through the Fountainhead. I guess the biggest thing I've gotten from it so far is that Anna Rand, although she said it wasn't really like a philosophy book, you can really tell where like her kind of beliefs come into play. I think the whole point of the book is that she kind of tries to show like the ideal man in her eyes, and you could definitely tell throughout the book, like I believe this is the main character. I think his name is Rorschach, or Howard Rorschach, however you say that last name. But so far, he really doesn't really care for other people, and that kind of coincides with Ayn Rand's whole thing of you really only know that you are real, so you really shouldn't care what other people think. And it kind of shows through how Rorschach kind of goes at things. Like probably the biggest thing I've seen, the biggest thing I read was him arguing with the dean, and the dean brings up like, well, these people will think think they're ugly or something like that. And then Rourke's like, I don't care what these people think. He's being a real edgy guy. So I'm still going through it. It's like a 700-page book, and I'm only like 35-ish pages in, give or take a couple. So not anywhere close to finishing. Maybe there's a whole 180 where like Rourke actually loves other people and their opinions and something like that. But so far, it really, I really think it's been a pretty good book. It's probably one of the more enjoyable books I've read. So you guys will figure out my full opinions when I make the video on the notes that I'm taking. Which, if you are reading a book, I do suggest taking some kind of notes. A lot of reading, especially every time I've read something, whether it's an article or a book or really just any kind of text. A lot of it, usually when I'm reading, I'll read it, but I don't like process it. I'm kind of just, I'm reading it to read it, but I'm not really trying to take in any of the information. And I think a lot of people my age, maybe older, but definitely my age and younger, they don't really care for a lot of the stuff that they read because no one really likes to read. It's so much longer to read a book and get an idea than watch a video and get the idea. Which, I guess in some sense that's kind of like the shortcomings of YouTube videos or really any video. But I think a lot of people just don't like to read because it's pretty boring. I'll be honest. Like I am enjoying The Fountainhead, but like every other book I've read, every other excerpt I've read, every other article I've read, it is really unbearable. Especially if you don't care about what you're learning about or what you're supposed to be reading. So, if you truly do want to read a book or read something, I suggest maybe grabbing a notebook, or opening up like Google Docs or just any way you can kind of do some note taking and just write down what feels important to you. Like I've really only written down like quotes and kind of just like ideas that I've gotten from those quotes. But if you write it down, you at least have some. It shows that you're at least trying to take in the information, and then you could read back on that information, and maybe look at it at a different perspective, or remember what the book was trying to, or not, I shouldn't say the book, what the text is trying to tell you. So, take some notes while you're reading. Anyways, I'm gonna get into the first working set. We got 115, like I said. If I do 10, I'll probably go up and wait. If not, we'll stick with this for the last set. Man, that's one thing I really, let me, one of the reasons why I really don't like bench is I really don't feel my chest as I'm doing bench. I feel it a lot. I feel like when I'm hitting my bench, I usually feel a lot more in my triceps or my really just my hands. I guess my grip. And like I know mind muscle connection isn't, the most important thing in the world, but I feel like as someone who's kind of gotten mind muscle connection through a lot of things, it really, I think it allows me to kind of do more and really emphasize the muscle I'm trying to hit, which is one reason why I really like a chest press now. Like, I'll be honest, I used to hate chest presses, probably back when I went to Planet Fitness, like, regularly. Absolutely hated chest presses. I was able to load up much more weight on just a regular bench. And, it was hard. I wasn't a big fan of it being hard. But really recently, like, I would say by the 30 days to failure challenge, I think I really started to put a lot more emphasis on mind muscle connection. And I also think in some sense it's because my back, I was really starting to feel my back on my back exercises, which I love my back exercises. But yeah, I know like the science-based community doesn't really care for mind muscle connection too much. But I think there is still some value to it. I think you still kind of, it allows you to push yourself a little harder, and you really know when you hit failure and when you don't. So that's why I love chest presses. When I hit 225 on just a regular flat bench, I'll be honest, I'm probably going to give up bench presses for at least a little bit. It's fun. I like doing bench presses, but if I'm trying to prioritize my growth, I feel like a chest press is it's a lot easier for me to gauge how far I can push myself on a chest press compared to a bench. And also it kind of isolates the chest a little more because, you are using the triceps to some extent on a bench. That's the whole point of a compound movement is you're hitting so many different parts of the body. But, have no hate against bench. It's just, this is really just more of a preference thing at this point. I would still hit bench as probably my second thing. I don't really find a whole lot of chest movements that good. Like, I'd probably go pec deck, chest press as like my mains, and then backups would be like an incline press or a bench. Like I'll be real. Like I absolutely hate dips. Like dips also kind of just prioritize the triceps and chest, but I would never do a dip for chest, just because it really just it's something that I feel like I'm straining myself too much for such a lack of what or I shouldn't say lack. I'm straining myself so much for like 1 or 2 reps. And I don't really feel like 1 or 2 reps is a good amount to like hit my chest. And I'm really just not a fan of assisted pull-ups or assisted dips. But that's still just a preference thing. At the end of the day, if you enjoy dips more than any other exercise, do dips. You are a lot more likely to stay in the gym if you enjoy what you do. That's why I would say if you don't like the stuff you're doing, even though it's considered optimal, just do the unoptimal shit. It doesn't matter in the long run. It matters in the sense that you'll most likely be more consistent if you do the unoptimal shit and enjoy it than if you do the optimal shit and don't enjoy it. Now, luckily for me, I just enjoy the gym in general. So I'm kind of able to do anything I really want to, and I wouldn't be motivated, This is probably my favorite part of the day, just coming here, pushing myself a little bit. So I think once you build up just an enjoyment of the gym in general, you kind of can be in a position where I am, where you really just are here to have a good amount of fun. And if you do anything here, it's fun. But I don't know, maybe I'll get like maybe I'll absolutely hate the gym 5 years from now because I hit my natural limit. I don't think I will hit my natural limit. I'll be real. I don't even know if a natural limit's real. I feel like I feel like there's something we can probably discover that could get people past what they would consider their natural limit. But that is completely speculation. There definitely is some evidence, although not like actual proof, but there is some kind of thought process to the natural limit, as you kind of get diminishing returns in growth at the more you progress throughout the gym. Someone who has been going to the gym for a month will probably experience I shouldn't say exponentially, just much more growth compared to someone like, I shouldn't say me because I'm also still somewhat new. But like, let's say someone who started a month ago and someone who started, who started 10 years ago. The guy who started a month ago will probably up the movement they prioritize much more than the guy who's been lifting for 10 years in that 1 month, just purely because their body is so adapted to just that movement that the growth stimulus you get from the exercise, just your body's kind of already used to the motions if you're 10 years in. But when compared to a month, your body's like, oh, I'm struggling to move this. I've never really had to do this before. And then it adapts. I don't know if I explained that too well. This kind of goes back to the stuff where my mom said I don't really feel it, she said I'm not explaining my stuff perfectly, or I kind of have like a scattered thought. But so be it. I'm gonna try and be a little bit more thorough and more concise with my points. But if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. So be it. It doesn't have to be perfect every day. But let me get into this last working set. We got is that 115? I'm gonna up the weight actually. We got 130. I don't know how many I'm gonna do of this. I know I didn't do 10 last working set, but I really want to do 130, so I'm doing 130. Complain otherwise. But my goal is 6. If I get 6, this is a win. But we'll see. All right. No. Okay. Well, I hit the goal, so at least one positive. I did do 6 reps. Didn't do more, but that's okay. I still hit the goal. So overall, happy with the exercise. And I'll turn back on the camera when I got another exercise ready. All right, what's up, Wolfpack? We got the next recorded set or exercise of the day. We got shoulder press. This is the second shoulder exercise of the day for me. So normally I would actually hit this first. I think I prefer being able to load it up a little more, and compared to my other exercise, I just really enjoy more of this movement than lateral raises. So Um, yeah. What was I about to say? But yeah, normally I would do this first, but when I wanted to go do it, or well, when I wanted to hit my shoulder, this was in use. So didn't make too big of a deal out of it, and just did my lateral raises. It's not gonna change anything massively in the long run. Which one thing I will say is since I've actually started training my shoulders, I don't know how noticeable it is, but you can definitely see my shoulders popping a little better than prior. So, you know, just hit every muscle group if you're trying to train, or well, if you are trying to train like somewhat optimally. You know, maybe don't do 2 exercises per muscle group like I am. You know, this is just more of a preference thing, but at least hit every muscle group once. Um, yeah, hit it at least once a day with 2 times frequency throughout the week. As long as you hit it at least once and have 2 times frequency of hitting it at once, you'll be fine. You know, the a lot. You know, once you get past that, it's a lot more nuance, but there also is a point where it's kind of diminishing returns of how many exercises you do per muscle group. So don't do too many. But when I do the warm up weight, got 40 pounds on the machine. We'll just do however many I feel like, and then we'll go from there. Okay. Should be good. Go up to 100 for now. We'll see where that goes. Considering I'm not used to doing this somewhat late into the workout, I don't know how strong I'll be. Maybe I won't be able to hit as many reps, but it's not that big of a deal, like I said. What can I talk about? Oh, you guys haven't tell by now. Still no headphones. I'll be honest. It's hard to not listen to music. Like especially in between my rest times. I could care less about music as I'm doing my working sets or my warm up sets, but that rest time, like I'm just doing nothing. So like it's basically like just being in silence, just standing there like breathing heavy. It's not that great, but so it's honestly been a little bit of a challenge, but I think I'm hoping that that me having my headphones off makes it seem like I'm more willing to talk. That's kind of the original reason why I kind of just wanted to go no headphones. It's because, you guys know I'm not the best when it comes to starting conversations. It's more on me it's more on me being scared to try than anything else. But yeah. So hopefully you guys will start seeing some conversations, or there'll be conversations in the off, when I'm not recording. Maybe I'll keep you guys updated. Maybe you guys will see. I don't know. But I guess one thing I could talk about is I really want like a brand to work with. I've DM'd a couple. I know I'm not the biggest guy in the world, or anywhere close to being able to do this as like a full-time thing. But you can always hope. It's not gonna. It's not bad to at least want something. So I'm hoping I'm able to work with some brands in the future if this ever becomes like a full-time thing. But if there's any brands, especially brands that want to give me like a good pair of shorts. I'm running out of shorts. So if you want to work with a niche up and coming creator like me, you know, send me some pairs of shorts and I'll review them. As long as the pockets can hold all my stuff in it without it falling out from me sitting down or from me just moving, they're a good pair of shorts. I could really care less about the size, or well, I care somewhat about the size, and I also care about like how it feels on my legs. Like right now, all my shorts are Champion, and specifically these ones. You know, these ones perfect pocket length. Don't, you know, nothing falls out when I'm sitting down. Nothing falls out when I'm moving. Like, that's really the biggest thing for me, is as long as the pocket length is good, I'll probably enjoy them. But like you guys can't really see this too well. Hold on, let me move the camera real quick. But like right here, this ribbed part, like, or I don't know if rib's the right word, but like this part here where it's kind of like it kind of circles back the fabric on the outside or the mesh, like that needs to be on more shorts. A lot of the shorts that my parents buy me, a lot of them, they don't do that, and then it feels really scratchy against my leg, and I hate that. Like, these are really like the perfect short, or almost the perfect short. I wish there was, some better designs, but for some reason they stopped making them with these long ass pockets, and now they're ruined. Like, they went from a like 9.5 out of 10 short to like a 3, like that. So, Champion, if you ever see this video, continue to make shorts with pockets that can go further than the short length. Like, look at this. This is me. My phone is all the way out here, and this is the distance between short length and out here, just off of me pushing out the pocket. I can't do that with the new Champion shorts that I got. So please make them more like this, so that I can buy more, or just send me them that are more like this. Because I've had these since like 8th grade, and they're the best shorts in the world. I'll say that. But I'm talking a little too much right now. So I'm gonna get in the first working set. Like I said at the start, or after the warm-up set, we got 100 pounds on the bar, or not on the bar, on the machine. If we get 10 or more, we'll go up in weight. If not, we'll stay with this. I don't think I'm gonna get 10, but if I do, like I said, I'll go up. All right. If I didn't go so far down on that last rep right there, I think I could have gotten one more out. But it's not bad. I still push myself as hard as I can. So we are going to stick with this weight. Whew. One thing I think a lot of people need to learn with their exercises is, if you didn't see, once I reached kind of that point, like, I feel like I maybe could grind it out, getting close to another rep there, but it's not worth it. Maybe it's worth it if it's your last set. No exercises that you're hitting like that. No exercises. Yeah, just no exercises left until your next day that you hit it. But what was I saying? Yeah, maybe grind it out, for the sake of you want to maximize it, but don't do it for the first working set of your lift, or of the exercise, because at the end of the day, probably the most important set is your last set. as it's probably the closest you'll get to failure throughout the entire exercise. So, you know, save your energy for that last set. Be able to push yourself as hard as possible so that that stimulus is maximized, you know? So, bail out on your reps if you think it's going to be, if you think you really got to grind it, have a little bit of do a little bit of thinking, I guess, is what I'm trying to get at. But like anything, when you get like far enough, or well, like it's gonna be like somewhat negligible. But still, if you really want to like maximize everything, save your energy until the end. So that's end of discussion for today, or not end it for today, but end of discussion of that. I mean, man, I was like so, I wouldn't say I was prepared. I was so much more, it was so much easier for me to talk on the chest press than this. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm getting like camera shy. I don't think I am getting camera shy, but I'm just like all over the place now. So let me think of something else to talk about. I guess this isn't really like too big of a talking point, but just thank you guys for just the support. Like these past like 2-ish, 3-ish weeks have been some of the most amount of views I've ever gotten on videos. It's nothing crazy. I'm not pulling like millions, not doing anything close to that. But I still get to see the progress. Like over the 30-day challenge that I did, I was maybe getting like my lower performing videos were maybe getting like 3 to 6 views, and they're still like maybe at like 10, 11. But like these past couple weeks, like I'm averaging like 6 views in a single day, rather than 6 views in like 3 days. So it's such a negligible number. Like when you think about like people who are making millions, but I'm not. I came with zero expectation of where I'd be. Like my first video that I ever made. Obviously, if you look at it, it's not a gym video at all. It's me talking about the economy, and like that video alone, if it didn't perform so much better than what I thought it would, I don't think I would be making content right now. Like I got 1,000 views in 2 days on my first video ever. I'll be honest, like if we compare this to like economics, I think most people when they start like investing and they just do they have any like positive gain within their portfolio, they start to think they're like the greatest investor of all time. I know I did when I first started investing. Like I was flexing having an extra $20 in capital gains, and like everybody is like, or people will think of they'll think they're so good at it, and that's kind of the same thing that happened with that video. I saw that, or I saw the amount of views I got off of my first video ever, and it was so low effort, and I didn't. My expectations were also so low for the video, and it performed so much better than I thought. Like I started like making connections in my head. I was like, oh, I have so many hours on YouTube that it's probably, I've just gotten so used to watching YouTube. I know the algorithm. Like I thought I was like Mr. Beast with 1,000 views. But yeah, I went on a little bit of a side rant there, but truly thank you guys so much for for watching. You know, like I said, it's a very small number in the grand scheme, but it's a big enough number for me to notice how much I've gotten, which with my overall content journey. So can't say this enough. Thank you guys. You allow me to at least you allow me to continue to want to do this. Because if I feel like during that 30-day challenge, I was on the days where I was like getting like 3 to 6 views. It was very discouraging because you know I really wasn't like around like day 20. I really started to not enjoy doing the failure stuff. Not because I didn't like going to failure, but I felt like I was missing out on the exercises that I could be doing, like shoulders, glutes, and all that. But so the views in general were a little discouraging, but I'm definitely a lot happier now that I've switched, and I'm happy that I'm just you guys are enjoying it a little more. But I do think what I'm talking about is a lot worse in some sense. I feel like I'm a lot less prepared. But I'm talking too much now. So got 100 pounds still. Do as many as I can, and then that'll be the end of the video.
So I don't know. I don't know if that's something necessarily. Well, is that the point of cable? Yeah, exactly.
No. I don't even think I could have gotten that last rep there. That last set was a little iffy. I think it could have been a lot better, but I'm not mad. Overall, that's the end of the video today. If you enjoyed, like, comment, subscribe, and share it with your favorite friends and coworkers.
Yeah, I don't know. I just assume. I just.
You know, if you want me to talk about something, leave it in the comments. If you want to follow me on other platforms, there'll be a link tree in the description. Make sure you guys do your laundry, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.